What is FERPA by Courtney Reeves? The nuts and bolts. FERPA is another acronym, which we have many in our education profession, and a lot of times we may understand the basics of a acronym, but not truly what it means. So as I was researching, I wanted to point out that FERPA stands for the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It's a federal law, and it is mainly providing privacy of students' education records. It applies to schools that receive funds under an applicable program of the U.S. Department of Education, so any federally funded school or program. It gives parents rights and students when they are of age 18 or older. When the student becomes 18, it would then transfer to their next academic setting, whether community college or another university or college. Students then do have that right over the age of 18. An educational record is the backbone of FERPA. This is any information that the school maintains, and it directs relatedly to that student. In our current setting at our school, we do have files per grade level for each student in our mailbox room. Those are called their student records, and the secretaries use those and keep them up to date, especially at the beginning of the school year with our enrollment. We then also have our special education records, which are even more protected, and you have to be part of our child study team or special ed team to have access to those. Those records you do sign in and out for. The educational records include information as far as demographics, classes, schedules, admission records, class list, grades, tests, and also assessment scores. These are important to make sure that they are kept private and out of view for others to see. I wanted to point out some scenarios that may or may not have happened in a setting that you have been in, and to ask yourself, is this something that I need to relook in my own classroom? Number 1, publishing a student's picture outside your classroom for public view. This is against FERPA. Student information should be treated as confidential and should not be displayed in public settings without permission. I do know in our school setting that it is okay to use photos if the parents have given permission, and that is usually done at the beginning of the school year. There's a form the district has families fill out, and that can authorize the use of pictures for publications and or school media. The second incident is using a student helper to pass out graded papers to the class. In my classroom, we also have mailboxes, so it's very important that educators are not having student helpers pass out any paperwork that would be confidential with grades and a student's name. They should also not be left unattended for others to see or to view. I also think back to when we're doing online grades and making sure we're logging out of our computer and having the screen shut so it's not a quick, easy access for others to view. These would be violations of FERPA. The third example happens often around schools is going to the treasurer teacher's lounge and venting about a day you've had or a particular student. It is against FERPA to give out names and details. I want to think of us like a doctor's office, and students are like our patients. So we need to make sure that we keep their information, good or bad, confidential. And if it is somebody who directly is working with them, like a special education teacher, a counselor, those would be the appropriate times and in a closed door type of setting. You never know when other adults are helping in the building, parent helpers, and you would not want to be caught in a setting where you are using other students' information and talking about them either in a not so polite way or a situation that could come back to you. To conclude this, I wanted to share an administrator who has gone above and beyond to find out information about his student.
Well, do you know where she is? Do you know when she'll be back? Do Do you know anything?
This is, of course, Ed Rooney, the famous principal from Ferris Bueller. This would hopefully not be a realistic case, but it does make you remember that as educators, we do want to do the best for our children, but we do need to make sure that we're following the laws and giving them every right to their confidentiality as the law does protect them.